Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we are looking at deployment strategies. So, a deployment strategy is a way to change or upgrade an application, and there's two terms that I think you should know regarding deployments, and that is rollouts and rollbacks. So, a rollout is when you replace or update servers with new versions of an application, and the word server could be just replaced with pods in this case because the nodes is may or may not be something that is getting rolled out. It really depends on what happens there. We have rollbacks, and this is when you replace or revert recently updated servers back to the previous version. And so there is a rolling update, but understand that rollout is just a generalized term that applies to all of these deployment strategies. So there are several different deployment strategies that can be utilized with Kubernetes. Some of these it's a lot easier to do them if you have like Argo or Flux or Jenkins, but deployments are built into Kubernetes. You don't need to have an additional tool to do them, but you might be limited in your options. And some I'm going to list here are a little bit more advanced and probably won't show up in the exam, but you should know them anyway, and that's why I'll go through them. But I'll point out which ones that you definitely need to know versus the ones that are nice to knows. So the first is recreate. So terminate the current pods and create new pods all at once. Normally we call this in-place deployment, but they call it recreate. Then you have a rolling update. So replace one or more multiple pods at a time. Then you have Canary, so add new pods and route a subset of your users to the new server. If no bugs or errors occur, rollout changes to all the pods. You have blue-green, so deploy an exact copy of your entire infrastructure. And when we say infrastructure, it might not necessarily be cluster infrastructure, but just application infrastructure, because Kubernetes is a bit different. Then you swap the traffic and then terminate the old environment or roll back to the old environment in case the new environment's not working out. You have A to B testing or red and black deployments. Red and black, they won't come up, but A to B might. And very similar to Canary. So the idea here is that you aren't necessarily tearing down that alternate traffic. You're leaving it up for a subset of users to test features. And so, it's just the difference between temporarily or permanently. Then we have dark launches. So this is similar to A to B testing, except it's happening like the A to B is happening at the application layer. So it's not, it doesn't require a rollback or anything like that. You're just flipping a switch in the code. But we will go in detail and show you a diagram of each of these so that you thoroughly understand them. But like red and black deployments, dark launches, that's not going to come up. But everything else should, and you should know them pretty well, okay?